Welcome back to the Dioramas Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for June 18th, 2023. And happy Father's Day to all of you fathers that are out there. Hope you're enjoying your day. But today we're going to, of course, talk about Transformers, Legends, Masterpiece, Mainline has quite a bit of all. There is some Masters of the Universe stuff going on this week, mostly at Target, but stuff not really anything too new. Some stuff that I guess I forgot about. And then an update from Ramen Toy, which is pretty cool, but very exciting. Also, we have the Glinda. I've got some mixed feelings about this, but it sort of makes sense. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this in the Joe section. There's a little bit more Joe stuff to talk about. There's also some Tmnt stuff to talk about, and I actually talked to a Target employee that gave me some information about this stuff. And Battletoads are coming, I guess. Seems kind of cool. I'm surprised we haven't seen this sooner. And Star Wars, there's again another week of really no Star Wars news, and this is evidence. Well, anyway, talk about this some more coming up. Alright, so talking about some new stuff at Show Z, and this is kind of interesting. This is a fourth-party reissue type of figure for cassettes, and this is the Rewind and Steeljaw. They've also got a couple of other ones, Ramhorn and Eject, and it seems like a really good time to put these out. There's all the excitement going on in the Masterpiece line with that and these figures. And then we're getting Masterpiece iterations, but it's kind of fun to have the original ones. And we got the old Slam Dance, the Grand Slam and Rain Dance. Really cool, kind of fun if you want to pick them up. $40 a set, though. A little bit on the pricey side, but really, these are getting harder to get. We saw some great prototypes of this maybe last week or the week before, but this is Pengu Toys upgrade kit for the Mighty Miracle God Omega Supreme. And this is really cool that it's only $9 for extra stuff for your figure. I don't know exactly how you put it on, all that kind of stuff, but of course when I get it in, I'll have to figure all that out. And I'm wondering if they're going to do a recolor, because I think all of this is slightly different colors for their blue version that's coming. Okay, so getting into some sort of Masterpiece, bigger than Masterpiece. Yellow Park is their Rise of the Beast, Optimus Primal, and pictures by Mr. LJ, which is on Weibo. This is their really high-end, very interesting looking version of Optimus Primal. Very articulated, a high level of articulation, and looks pretty cool. Now, Rise of the Beast, the movie just came out. Everybody seems to be excited about it, enjoying it for what they are. Did you enjoy the movie? If so, you can enjoy these interesting photos. And I think LJ does some of the best photography around. Alright, so Fans Toys Recorder already came out. Everybody's got that. So what's next? The cassette. So the cassette should be on the way soon, very soon. And that is, well, evident because Fans Toys put up the How to Transform It and the Coming Soon video on their YouTube page. And I like their cassettes. I think they all look good. They're all solid. I prefer the size of MMC better, but the finish on these look right. And of course, they fit in the chest of their blaster, their recorder. So of course, there's going to be that benefit. But I haven't scraped any paint on blaster, but I scraped paint on the ones that went in Acoustic Wave. So that's kind of scary. The nice paint and finish is nice, but scratching it is not. Okay, so we've got some pictures of the Magnificent Mecha, and this is the Nemesis Prime next to the Standard Prime. And if you don't know what this is, the MM01, and it is 12 inches tall, made of die-cast and plastic. It is $230. These are around $230 for each one of these, but should be pretty high-end, a lot of posability in that. So this is a comparison of the two offerings so far. Here they are from the back. If you're interested in these and you're interested in this style, then you might want to go after them. But they are very expensive and very high-end, and I haven't watched any reviews of them yet, but I think they look pretty good for what they are. So you knew somebody would have to get around to assembling the Flame Toys Fury model, RC in-hand images, and there she is. And I don't think she looks that bad. I think she looks pretty good. She does have a stylized look to her, and you will have to put this together. That's just kind of the territory that goes along with it. But I was always curious exactly how she's going to look in a Masterpiece display. I think all of these, it's a question. Will this work in Masterpiece? And this almost could work. It's a little bit on the short side, a little bit on the small side, but it could work. And the fact that she doesn't have to lug around a huge backpack because she doesn't have to transform. RC, a lot of the fembots, really, it's great to have them as action figures and not transforming. So she can, do various different poses. I don't think her eyes actually light up. I think that was some sort of effect put in. But anyway, pretty cool. Really good looking figure overall. Yellow Park is teasing a Scourge, and this is for Rise of the Beast, and it says right here, main villain of Rise of the Beast. And so if you haven't seen it yet, I'm just going to try to keep any and all spoilers out of any of my videos, because I don't want to spoil it for anything for anyone, which I don't really feel like there's much you can spoil. But it looks pretty good from the bust section so far. We'll see what the rest of it looks like when it comes out. And Transart is hoping you're ready to kick some keister with the BWM13 Beast Wars Predacon Quick Strike. And I think it's going to look good. It matches the animation in the gray photos here. These aren't really prototypes, I don't think, just yet. But very interesting. Up for pre-order. Price is still unknown, but we do know that Transart's relatively affordable. They kind of live in the sub-100, slightly above 100 price range for decent figures, but there's really no die cast. This one's going to be about 6 inches tall. I'm guessing $70. Estimated first quarter 2024. And if you haven't seen my Friday video, you might want to check it out. X-Transbots, I was kind of coming for the rest of the year from them, and a little bit beyond that. Not absolutely everything that they're making, but what's sort of gotten some updates. This got updates this past week, and this is their Overdrive. Fioravanti. I have to look it up to make sure I say it right. But anyway, this is what he comes with. Blast effects and 3 guns. All that. Looks pretty good. Updated pictures. Looks really awesome. And his alt mode. Alt mode looks really cool. Love the flying car gimmick, where I did as a kid at least. Now I know we had pictures last week. For whatever reason I feel like this is a new picture. It feels like it looks different to me, but New Age and their H63 Gorgo Slag up for pre-order. Show Z and other places, I'm guessing. I know it's up for pre-order at Show Z, but this is the picture. And I have to say, I pre-ordered this immediately because their Grimlock looks that good, is that good. Big update from the DX9 / McFan's Toys KR oversize of those Dinobots, but still really exciting. And I've got to say, some things New Age does way better than Magic Square. Well, Magic Square hasn't made dinos yet, but some things Magic Square does better. So pick and choose and have a perfect shelf. Alright, so New Age has put out a video of their upcoming background, the ARC sort of background set, play set, you might want to say, diorama, but notice the doors open and closing. That's one thing, but also notice the fact that this thing is massive compared to Legends figures. This is huge compared to Legends figures. I wouldn't go as far as to say that you could use it for mainline. Definitely couldn't use it for Masterpiece, but it's big. I think this is very impressive. I don't have a price on it just yet, but it's really interesting seeing something like this come along, and you don't see a whole lot of this out there just yet, but New Age is doing it. Speaking of New Age, they're putting out all their different colors of Omega Supreme. I guess this individual has gotten his hands on all 4 of them, or maybe he just knows people that were at New Age. I don't know, but looking really cool, really awesome. Both this one and the Pengu toys are great figures. I would recommend both, either one, pretty much equally, maybe slightly more for this one here, but look at all those different colors and repaints. I know that we're getting a repaint for Pengu, but you're not going to get this many colors and this many repaints, I don't think. So pretty awesome, pretty cool. And any of these that you've always wanted in your collection, you can get them now. So Magic Square is rolling in this week with an onslaught of pictures of their Bruticus in alt mode. Okay, so their Legend Scale Onslaught color prototype, and this seems to be an exciting set in the works, and I think it's going to look great. I think that everyone that gets this is going to be happy. The only thing that really gets me with this set, and I'll share that here, is that I wonder if they'll do a shiny repaint or a different repaint or a slightly more premium looking one down the road for a lower price. But aside from that, everything here looks pretty good. Not really any pictures of combined mode just yet, but well, there's some grayscales. But this set looks pretty good, and I'm pretty impressed with it. Of course, I do like the designs, the more heroic type of design that they go with for Magic Square, so that works. Just wish it was a little bit more paint. Wish it was like that Bumblebee I just reviewed. Now that thing was painted really well. So MPH Studios putting out a roller, and this has got me a little bit curious because is this going to be a microscopic roller? Is it really going to be a microscopic roller, or is this like roller with a trailer? I don't know. This is like a teaser, so they still haven't given any information out, but obviously it's a roller, and with that, curious. Now it would make sense because they do make small characters, but they make them about the same size as all their other characters, then it could go with something else. So I guess we'll find out more next week or sometime soon. And we've got Optimus Primal and Megatron hyper still reaction figures found at Target in the wild, and I gotta admit that what we saw before were all renders, and that is a Super 7 thing. Like, you literally pre-order and you get your hyped up over renders. But looking at them in the real world and real wild pictures, I think they look pretty good. I think that Megatron's colors are a bit muted, but aside from that, I think they do look pretty good. And if you're a Beast Wars collector, $20 each, I know it's a lot, but these are pretty cool. Okay, so I really don't know where to start with all of the mainline news this week. There's a lot of interesting stuff popping up, some clarity being shown on stuff. But this is the Nemesis, and it is the Legacy Evolution Titan class Nemesis figure, and it is in-hand images, so this is not something from Hasbro official, and it looks a lot like a Nemesis. I like that it's a pretty good size figure. We're going to see a size comparison here in just a minute. Here's the bot mode, female character, looks interesting, something different, but I'm guessing 99% of people that get this are going to have it in the alt mode, the ship mode, in which I really see most arcs in ship mode. I do see some in the bot mode though, and it seems like some people love those. I'm still curious how well this sells, especially in today's climate currently and going forward, but it looks pretty cool. Wonder if there'll be sales. Oh, I forgot to show the box or talk about the box. I think the packaging looks good. I think that's a pretty good size comparison too. So I'm going to use the least bad of all the pictures here, but this is the upcoming leader class Buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series AOE Grimlock, and it is basically just a reissue of the Studio Series Grimlock. If you're excited about this and you missed out on the past one, then pick this up, $55. But I don't remember any of the Buzzworthy Bumblebee figures being in the leader class just yet, but maybe I missed that. Maybe I wasn't paying too close attention, but I'm starting to pay attention to this line because this is giving us what we want in the Studio Series painted the way I want them, at least. And so I'm getting more excited about what they're doing with this line. Like, I don't know, our first look at Dead Prowl and Dead Ironhide. It's very interesting. They're going this route. Looks pretty cool. Good stuff. I'm just surprised, and maybe I shouldn't be. And so my son actually said it would be kind of cool if they actually had a hole in the actual chest, and it's not just paint. So we don't know yet. Actually, there might actually be a hole or damage, physical damage to it, and it not just be paint, but it's probably just paint. And sticking with this Bumblebee Buzzworthy stuff, we've got this 4-pack, which is quite interesting. It's a little 4-pack, multi-pack. It's got a Quintesson Trooper. It's got a Decepticon Seeker. They don't actually call that one Thundercracker on there. And it says G2 Universe Cybertronian Trooper. And then they've got an animated Universe Auto Trooper. And that's pretty interesting set they've got there. This is just a little bit better picture of all 4 of them, and it's just reissues of past figures to capitalize on you making some money on you. But truthfully, if you missed out on these, then you can get them for whatever character it was that you missed out in the past. Like if you don't have a Thundercracker, you can call him your Thundercracker if you want. If you don't have an Alicon, you can call him your Alicon. There's things you can do. I don't know if you can get away with calling that Ratchet down at the bottom, but anyhow, there it is. We've got a Perceptor, movie Perceptor exclusive. I believe this is still a Walmart exclusive. And it's the Retro Transformers, the movie version. And looks pretty cool. I think that these would be much better if you could see the product, if you weren't in a closed box. And I just think it would be better if it felt a little more like G1, but this is how they're doing it and how we're getting it. I don't really see any of these sell out ever at any of my Walmarts. They just sit there. I can't remember. What is right now? Starscream on the shelf? Can't remember. I haven't seen the Hound yet, though, which is weird. Other people say they've seen Hound. So we've got what's called the new Legacy Toxitron collection of figures, and so this is going to be a G2 Dead End, G2 Mirage, unreleased G2 Deco, a G2 Jazz, a G2 Sideswipe, and a G2 Laser Cycle Jazz. Okay, so with this, I'm starting to get the feeling that if you missed out on any of the Minosaur limbs, that they're going to put them back out in the G2, and I don't think it's really that big of a deal for just having the G2 emblem on them, so I think it looks pretty cool. And we got better pictures of one of these here. This is the G2 Dead End, and there's the alt mode looking like an alt mode, and then here is the bot mode looking like a bot mode. So I have a feeling this stuff's coming relatively quickly, so I think it's actually good to offer against this. BBTS is getting in, Motormaster, and then people that gave up because they couldn't get a Motormaster now can sort of piece this together, but it starts to make me think, will we get a G2 Motormaster? Probably. So now we have pictures of, I guess Braun's starting to show up in stores or something, because we've got in-hand pictures of Braun Deluxe in hand, and I'm going to compare him, use the comparison picture of him to Cliff Jumper. Cliff Jumper was a controversy when it came out because people were saying he's too small to be a deluxe, but then other people argued that the engineering is what made it worth the $20. And remember back when we complained about $19.99 as a price point, and this guy's going to be a deluxe, so he's going to be like a $25 price point. And so that's kind of the size comparison. I think that really is one to draw home. I think he looks good. I think that the lower legs are a bit too chunky. So that's really my only major complaint there. And here's the alt mode, which looks pretty good. So I really think Hasbro's doing a pretty good job. I mean, Takara is doing a pretty good job with designing these figures in the mainline these days. Wouldn't be a fun news week without some conspiracy on what's going on out there. Oh, unreleased kind of rumors? I guess we'll just classify all this as rumor, but all these rumors have always come true, so I guess, anyway. Deluxe Cyber Hotshot is coming. Deluxe Rock 3, which still, I don't think anyone really knows what Rock 3 is. A Deluxe Strong Arm, and then a Leader Soundwave, and that's interesting. Leader Soundwave, all this other Transformers Generations Legacy. Then a Core Series Steeljaw, which makes a lot of sense. It's really cool. Cassettes are all the rage right now. And then what gets me really confused is a Leader 86 Springer. Because they made a Springer in Siege, and I know that's been like 5 years now, 4 years. Siege Springer was pretty good at a weak knee, but I thought he was pretty good overall. So would they just modify that mold, or is it an all-new mold? Is he a bit bigger and beefier? He was a bit small, on the small side. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. So I think out of all these, the Springer's the most interesting to me. So now we're going to segue into non-Transformers news after we talk about the Optimus Prime Go-Kart Pro Segway. Yeah, that's how it's going to happen. And it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty interesting. It's the low price of $2,300. We've seen this before, I believe, but I think it's now up to order. So I can go up to almost 25 miles an hour, and pretty cool. Drift like a pro with your Segway Go-Kart Pro. Ramen Toys showing off some pictures of their figure for the Great White, and I think she looks pretty cool. Looks pretty good. I like the way they handled the helmet, and the figure looks great. I like it. Have to admit, I'm pretty excited about the Ramen toy and their Marshall and their 3-0, and I have to admit, I want to just be honest. I saw the lower legs on 3-0 and thought that it was a little bit exaggerated, but I watched the show and looked at that very specifically, and it's very show accurate. And so with that, I think this looks pretty good, and they're doing a pretty good job. And then size wise, they're doing a pretty good job. So I'm really looking forward to this because of the fact that not only did they already put out some prototypes that looked good, but they said it's not good enough. Let's go back to the drawing board and fix some of these issues that they're finding with their prototype because they want it to be that good. I like that. I really do. Here's the molds for the Ramen Racer, and so that's what they look like. They're making the molds. I'm always interested in this kind of stuff, in the production aspect of it, and Ramen Toy pulls you along through the production process, which is fun. They did that with the 80s Commanders, and that was fun, and this is very interesting, considering it's a much bigger project. And then here's some electronics that I don't really know all about this, what's going on with this picture, but it's showing like the inside of the electronics of some of the effects, what's going to be happening there. Alright, so getting into some G.I. Joe Classified, we have Glinda, Jane Mulligan Glinda. Now, I gotta say, I did not know the name Glinda when I first heard it, but the second I saw this, I thought, there's Scarlet. I read Glinda, but I said, that's Scarlet, because the framework and everything looks a lot like just a recolored Scarlet. And then when I went to looking it up, it turns out that there was this character put out as a recolored Scarlet, and even in the vintage line, it was an overseas release, and so that's what's happening. So what are my thoughts on this? Will this help the campaign? I don't think this is going to shoot the campaign through the roof, but in my initial video, I said I didn't want to see a Doc as a standard Doc. It needs to be like a recolored version of Doc, or Hawk, or any of those other ones. But I do think Hawk's the next one, but like a Night Force Hawk, so that they could put out the standard one for everyone else. Because it's really, truly, I don't even think that the figures should be numbered in a HasLab. They should be complete one-offs. But the thing I'm going to say about this is there's a lot of haters hating on this, but I don't think it's a bad idea because it was an idea I had, put a Scarlet. But I think this is actually a better idea because this is a campaign that not everybody's going to get. And mark my words, when this is released, and as long as she's unlocked, she's going to sell for $50 plus on eBay. Trust me. So that's the proof, and that's all the proof you need that this was actually a smart idea on their behalf. And the drops this week for pre-orders, and there's going to be more next week, I'm sure, but it was Tunnel Rat for a mainline release. We've got a Desert Snake Eyes, yet another Snake Eyes, that people are telling me that don't look at them as Snake Eyes, look at them as just a Desert Trooper, just a trooper to go with Dusty, and I see that now, and I'm okay with it, but still, I don't like a million Snake Eyes. And then the eel, the Impossible Eel. It is impossible, and everyone's eel over the eel, and it's ridiculous to make that an Amazon exclusive, but I'm hoping that one day you could just go to Amazon and order 12, and you can have plenty, but I don't know if we're going to see that day, for another year or two. Okay, so Master of the Universe this week at Target, we have the Target Fall Geek Out, and it was Mattel's turn this week to put out this 3-pack of Kikto, the Expert Kickboxer, Holographo, the Futuristic Scientist, and Zapman, the Micro Laser Specialist from the Sunman line. And we know how well the first Sunman 3-pack did, so now this Sunman 3-pack should outdo it, as in have more stock than ever, I hope. Or if they short run it, people gonna be chasing this like it's a Duplico or something. So Heman in the Masters universe for the Masterverse is Slushhead, and I get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle vibes looking at this. I don't know anything about this at all, and I haven't really watched anyone that explained it or anything. So there's Slushhead. I think he looks cool, and of course I'm gonna get him, but I just don't know him. So I guess I'll get to know him over time, right? And then we already know Whiplash, and there's Whiplash. So Fall Geek Out, looking pretty cool, looking pretty good. I'm starting to think Whiplash is there. Did they say we're getting a Masterverse Randor? Looking at his staff, Masterverse Randor seems like something coming next or soon. or eventually. Okay, so a company called Premium DNA Toys is making some Battletoads, and let me just read the prices from Entertainment Earth here. So you have Wave 1 with the Rash action figure, $60. Zitz for $60. General Slaughter is $150. General Vermin is $100. And then there's Pork a Pig for $45, and then Rat Bones for $45. So interesting if you're into this. I've never seen Battletoads figures. I assume someone's made them before, but pretty interesting and more pricey than I expected. So I was at my local Target, and I was there early enough to catch my toy lady still stocking, and I asked her about a handful of things that I had questions about. And she says they're getting a reset soon, and on the 24th, something around the 24th. But these are in the back room, street dated for the 24th. Now, I don't really not that concerned about it, but I figured it was an interesting tidbit that she says that they're street dated for the 24th. And I hate street dates, but for something like this, I don't really think these are going to sell out. I don't even think it's going to be a frenzy, but I might be wrong. It'd be interesting to see how it goes down. I think they're interesting looking, but I'm not deep enough into turtles to want to get all these different iterations, strange looking turtles, but some people really are excited right now. Oh, and Targets are everywhere, getting the April O'Neil and a whole bunch of stuff. It's pretty awesome, pretty fun, very expensive time to be a turtle collector. Alright, so I would like to be upbeat about Star Wars because I love Star Wars. I love watching the original trilogy. I can pretty much watch any of the Star Wars movies, even the sequel trilogies, and find some good in the sequel trilogy, but I just love the original trilogy. I could watch probably one of those every single day and just enjoy it. And with that, it kind of pains me to see the state of Star Wars collecting in 2023. But when I saw this speeder bike less than a month ago, put on the shelf for $45, I didn't even consider buying it. I was like, $45. Because I remember back in the day, you got a speeder bike and a trooper for $20 or $15 or something in the 90s, and I understand double that to 30. Okay, that makes sense, but triple it to 45. That's not so. So with less than a month, $31 on clearance, and this is the state of Star Wars collecting right now. Well, if that's not the state of it, when I said it was a dumb idea to reissue Jyn Erso, and I actually had some pushback. Some people saying, oh, no, people really want her. Jyn Erso was a 3-cent figure at Walmart. And how do I know? Because I bought a few of her. And how do I know? Because I gave several to my kids for Christmas, and they were ecstatic to have just a figure. Who cares, right? But it was 3 cents at Walmart. So they couldn't get rid of them. And Ollie's is going to have these for $8, forever. I mean, what's going to last longer at Ollie's? The He-Man stuff or Jyn Erso? I think Jyn Erso is going to outlast the He-Man stuff. But I don't know. General Holdout might be holding out on that shelf even longer than Jyn Erso. And just for some fun, I actually asked my viewers, should I wait on the Roton and not buy it, wait for a clearance? Because I really sort of meant that I don't really care if I get it or not. So I'll play the clearance chicken. It's down to 23. Just got marked down. Boxes are just smashed, decimated. But I figure I'm going to try to hold out for 10. We'll see if it goes. I think it'd be a fun little activity, a fun little game to play of clearance chicken on the Roton Masters Universe. So what do you think about this week's weekly news and review? I think that actually G.I. Joe was what riled up most people this week. All the stuff going on, the peaks and valleys and the roller coaster of G.I. Joe classified collecting, it doesn't stop. It's crazy. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hi, Dear Hanger out.